What's up guys, my name is Sean, welcome to my tech channel. So today we are checking out the upgraded X1 remote from Sofabaton. This is the X1S, all-in-one smart remote control to get rid of the clutter and all the different remote controls you have for different stuff around your house. But first, let me tell you what this video is and is not. If you already have this device and you're looking for setup instructions, how to connect this to IFTT app using an API, this video is not that. This video is intended for people who don't have this and they're thinking about getting an all-in-one smart remote control, and I want to review what this thing can and cannot do, and depending on your setup, where your stuff are around the house, to see if this is going to be a good consideration or not. So stay tuned, we're going to review it all together. But first, putting these videos together takes a long time. The least you can do if you want to support me, give this video a like. And by the way, in this channel, I review techs, gadgets, do unboxing reviews and tutorials. So if you think you like content like this, reviewing anything that has a battery in it or you plug it in, such as keyboards, speakers, routers, projectors, and whatnot, please consider subscribing. So first things first, what is in the box? They have a very simple unboxing experience. You have your owner's manual, and then you have the remote itself. I'm gonna pull the camera up so you can see this remote and all its glory. At the bottom, you're gonna get your hub. This is your IR blaster. So this is how you actually control all the devices. This is what needs to be near where all your other devices are. And I'm gonna tell you about the placement to see even if something like this would work for you or not. This needs to be constantly plugged in. So they do offer a power brick. They give you two USB cables. One of them is to keep the hub constantly powered in and connected. The other one, there's a second one, but with no brick for you to be able to charge this. It doesn't come with a charging dock or any kind of station, and you have to plug this in. The good news is they claim the battery life is about 45 days. It has a 1,000 milliamp battery. That's also depend on the usage. This is based on average normal use. So if you don't use a lot, you don't have a lot of devices, it could last you even 2 months or more. And then finally, you have two IR blast extenders, and these will make sense once I tell you how you need to place this in order to get it to work. Maybe this is a good transition for that. So how does this work? You have to place this near where all your devices are. So for example, if you have a closet with your receiver, your PlayStation, if you have a DVD player, whatever else you may have, this needs to be there because this does not blast any IR. What this will do is it connects via Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to this device. The good news is you don't have to point this at your devices and at the TV. This will send the signal without needing to point at this hub to this, and then this is what would blast the IR to whatever devices you have. For example, if you have, let's say, a TV stand that you have all your devices and components there, if you just place this in one of those shelves, most likely it should be just fine. In case if you have cabinet doors or they are on the too far end of the table, or one of them may be in a closet and whatnot, this is where these IR blasters will come in place. One has a single blaster and the other one has two. So depending on the configuration that you have, you can simply connect this to this hub. So you have two ports back here, number 1 and number 2. So you can actually plug both of them in and have a combination of 3 IR blasters to be able to have a really good coverage regardless of how your stuff is set up in your entertainment room, living room, or whatever the case might be. Again, we talked about the advantages that you don't have to point this at stuff, but the downside of it is you really cannot use this in multiple rooms. This is designed to be in a singular room, and this is where this solution may or may not work for some consumers. You essentially need this brain to be in the room to be able to blast the IR to be able to control your devices. Hopefully that makes sense. The way they've designed this, they want it to be future-proof for all the future models you get. They constantly add different models to the database. Currently, they support over 500,000 different electronics that is already pre-programmed. So the moment you put the model number of the device when you're trying to add it in the app, then it knows what all the buttons are and what they will do. But here's the good news. When I was reviewing the previous version of this, my LG TV It wasn't, it was a gallery series, it was a GX model. It wasn't in the database. I simply reached out to the customer service and literally in one day, they added it to the database and I could go ahead add it to my device. And here's the other good news. Regardless of what you use, you could be having some no-name, off-brand, even, I don't know, projector that they come with these very generic remotes. The nice thing is there is a feature in this, the app that you get, you can actually teach the different buttons and have it learn what they do. It will walk you through it. Basically, it will say, do you want to do a browse option or do you want to learn? And it will walk you through them. What is the power button? Push, and then you push at the top and it would learn what that is and you can do it over and over for all the different buttons. You can even do it with these like tiny remotes. For example, you get these with almost any LED type lighting you get, whether it's for a Christmas tree, which I personally have lost these remote multiple times, or these LED strips that you can put on the wall. And you can go ahead program these and it will stay there. Now, if you're doing a product that maybe it's more known and maybe other people in the community can take advantage of it, you can actually, once you teach all the buttons, you can share it with the community and everyone else can download it. So next time if they need that device, even if the company doesn't have it in the database, other users can take advantage of the work that you've gone through. And this is how the community will make this become even stronger and stronger. So what type of devices can you connect to this? Well, they give you three options: IR, Bluetooth devices, or Wi-Fi. Now, Wi-Fi devices you can connect is fairly limited. I believe it's only Roku, Sonos, and Philips Hue lights. But through the API, you can connect it to Siri shortcuts or HomeKit shortcuts if you have an Apple device, or the IFTT app. Now, because everything gets nicely synchronized between the hub, the remote, and the app, you can actually use the app itself as remote control as well. There are a few other cool things you can do with the app. For example, if you ever lose your remote, it has a Find My feature. You can simply tap it, it will beep, and you'll be able to find it if it's in your house and within the range. Few other important specs to mention. Number one, the buttons are backlit. Number two, it has a raise to wake feature, which the previous version didn't have, and it was really annoying. You would have to pick it up, you have to push a button to basically wake it and then do what you want it to do. So that has been fixed. Because of the way it connects with the app and the hub, it offers over-the-air updates, and the company is really good at continue to improve the performance and the database and everything else that comes with it, so you get free over-the-air updates. Since the first version, they have improved the font on the LCD screen, and yes, it was pretty bad and you couldn't really go through the setting and change it, so that has been improved as well. And finally, the most powerful thing about this remote is your ability to customize the heck out of anything you want. I'm gonna give you two examples that I think it's important for any average user who's gonna consider getting this one. For example, if you want to connect your Apple TV, so you can use this instead of the Apple TV remote because they're tiny and you can lose them. When you want to, for example, power down, depending on which model you have, the first time you push the power button, then a message will come on the screen that says, are you sure you want to turn off? Or if you want to turn off, press power again, right? So you can actually program this for your Apple TV remote to say, hey, when I push power to power down, you can define what to do. You can say, push the power once, pause 1 second, and push the power again. Also, some features you may need to do a long press. You can define each button or your power button to be a long press. Sometimes the same thing will happen with some of the projectors, for example. So there are different ways you can customize to say how each button really needs to work. The second thing I wanted to share you out of all the things this thing will do is defining actions. An action is when you want to have basically press one button or one action on your remote and tell it to do multiple things. For example, I don't have a receiver in my house, but let's say if you want to watch a movie and you have a power projector screen and you got a projector and whatnot, with one push of a button you can say, turn on my projector, switch to HDMI 1 input, turn on my receiver, and roll up my projector screen, for example. So one push, you can define and have it do all that. I say all this to say that this thing can do a lot. I do have a link down below. You guys can check it out and read more about it. I may or may not have a coupon code, discount coupon code. Definitely read the description to see if I have anything available. But there are things that I still don't like about this, and I want to make sure I'm very transparent about all the pros and cons. Starting with something basic. This thing is super glossy, and it shows every single fingerprint and dust that hovers around your house. So I wish this was not this glossy and it would be matte finished. A couple of other cons I mentioned just as a quick recap. As far as Wi-Fi devices, there are only 3 brands that you can connect with right now: Roku, Sonos, and Philips Hue. This also does not have a docking station, which I think it will be really cool. So you don't have to, even every other month, remember to try to charge this. And I think it's an easy way for you to always find where your remote is if it would have a nice docking station that you can put next to your TV. And most important one is this does not offer a multi-room support. As a matter of fact, if you want to use it in a second room, you cannot just buy an extra hub or extra remote. You need to buy a full set just like this and then put it in the other room and then be able to control your devices. The screen is not touch screen. You typically really don't need it because this action wheel right here, you can scroll up and down. It has a very nice tactile feel, and you can push it as an inner button and you'll be able to go through the screen. But let's say if you want to go on YouTube on your TV and search for something, right? If you want to type it. If this was touchscreen, maybe they could put a keyboard in there and you can quickly tap. So there would have been some additional benefits if this was touchscreen, and it's not. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention, is the build quality of this remote. It is matte finish, which I love. It definitely has some weight to it because of the 1000 milliamp battery that they have. And all the buttons feel really good. It has a really nice tactile feel. It's nicely marked. I know Logitech Harmony is a gold standard when it comes to all-in-one smart connected remote controls, but those are discontinued and people are looking to for an alternate solution. And Sofabaton has really stepped up. A couple of years back, they came up with the first version of their X1. They got community feedback and they made a ton of improvements, and here we are with the X1S. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this answers any questions you may have. If you're thinking about getting a device like this, I'll do my best to try to answer your questions. Definitely check out the comment sections, the description below, and don't forget to give this video a like.